Hey everybody, it's Marshall Fryman for TradingDetectives.com. Today I've got a breakdown of the Fallout 4 trailer released by Bethesda Softworks. We'll be taking a look at some of the hidden details in the trailer and unraveling some of the mysteries Bethesda Softworks has left personally for me to unravel and deliver to you as a prophet would.
With the world poised on the brink of war, Vault-Tec is reporting a record number. Folks, it seems we've got some breaking news. Stand by.
No, I'm trying to forget about how much I care for you.
We seem to have lost contact with our affiliate stations. Stand by. We do have.
And we see here a happy pre-war family, a mother, a father, and a baby. And here we see a moment before the bombs fell. Now, the flashing back and forth between the trailer has led some people to believe that the time travel element will come into play in Fallout 4. Now, this might be literal time travel as part of some experiment, or it might be a simulation as we saw in Fallout 3. Or, as many people have speculated, your protagonist might actually be a survivor from before the war who was stored in Vault 111. Here you see the door to the vault, and you also see Vault-Tec's Societal Preservation Program. Now, we've seen in previous Fallout games how certain vaults were crazy Twilight Zone Looney Tune experiments, but some vaults, the control vaults, were just as advertised and existed purely to preserve the American society until the Earth was safe to colonize again. So it's possible that Vault 111 is itself just a normal vault where the denizens were kept safe so that they could awaken to restore America. However, another rumor is that just as in Fallout 3, the Commonwealth is deeply involved in androids, and the player might actually be an android with the implanted memories of one of the vault dwellers in Vault 111. Now, as the character awakens from the vault, you can actually see that Boston is not in immediate range. Now, you'll see later in the video that Boston is a very large city with skyscrapers that make it visible from very far away. So Vault 111 must be miles away from the Commonwealth. Now, we see a stranger walking on an empty alley, but you also see weather. You see lightning and what looks like rain. Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas did not contain rain or weather, so this is a welcome addition. And like the oversaturated color palette, serves to distinguish Fallout 4 from the very dry and bland Fallout 3. Here we see a Deathclaw roaming around what looks very much like Ground Zero for the bombs that hit Boston. And it looks like it's a Radstorm, another weather effect. Now we see what looks like a bazaar in Boston, or it might in fact be a smaller city located within, because that sign says Diamond City. We can see Diamond City Surplus, Chemicare, Power Noodles, Swatters, and Commonwealth Weaponry. And we see an airship over the Commonwealth. Now, they've been in Fallout, though you've never seen one, and it's quite a testament to the technological prowess of the city that they have one up and running. Presumably, it's under Brotherhood of Steel control. A Brotherhood of Steel vertibird takes off, and you can see this street in the Commonwealth. Now, this might mean that vertibirds, unlike Fallout 3, might be a vehicle that players can enter and use, similar to Skyrim's carriages. And I'd also like to point out the levels to this little area of the city. You can see stairs and roofs, so you can probably believe that Boston isn't going to just be a two-dimensional city full of alleyways, and you'll be able to try to climb onto roofs, travel over the city as opposed to through it. Unlike Fallout 3's Washington, D.C., which was very two-dimensional and filled with empty, hollow buildings. And you can see here how big the Commonwealth actually is. Now, in previous Bethesda games, their cities have been pretty underwhelming, consisting of a few buildings and maybe a dozen or so NPCs. But here we can see just how large the Commonwealth is. It looks like a fully fleshed out city. And it looks maybe as big as Fallout 3, just in itself, not including the wasteland that surrounds it. It stretches as far as the horizon, with just a little bit of wasteland out there near the hills. Here we can see the dog arriving at Vault 111 as the door is opening, and this might imply that the dog is in fact the first companion that the player character encounters in the world of Fallout 4. Now we have an exciting climax where the bombs go off and we see a familiar woman to the left and the same man on the right that we saw earlier in the trailer. This is the same family and their baby going into Vault 111. Now, there have been rumors that Fallout 4's protagonist is a man or woman looking for their significant other and their child after they've awoken from Vault 111 to the Boston wasteland. Now, based on the amount of time that this man or woman would be locked in the vault, that pretty much confirms either of the two theories what we went over below, either androids with implanted memories or cryostasis. There have of course been rumors that Fallout 4, based on the ending of this trailer, would have a fully voiced male protagonist, and there was actually a leak on Reddit suggesting that there would only be a male fully voiced protagonist with no option to play as a woman, though this leak was later discredited by Kotaku. And based on fan response to the rumor that you would only be able to play as a single male protagonist, I very much doubt that Bethesda will limit players in who they can play as. Now in this garage we see some interesting details. We see a set of Brotherhood of Steel power armor that's under construction, and we also see a collection of weapons there on the backboard. We see a collection of comics, and we also see a Vault Boy. Now, some fans have speculated that this is actually a player home that will be available in the game. Now, I think what confirms this is the presence of the Vault Boy, as in Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, you were able to collect and keep them in your home of choice. Now, Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas allowed you to construct weapons from schematics, and it also allowed you to repair your own armor. So what we might be seeing here is the ability to construct your own custom set of power armor, perhaps from schematics or as part of a quest in your player home. I finally want to add that Skyrim homes also had the ability to display weapons and armor in a similar fashion to what you see here. Now here we get a glance at just how big the Commonwealth wasteland is. You can see it goes on for miles. Now I want to point out some interesting modifications on the weapon we see. It doesn't look like anything from Fallout 3. It has a handguard, and that might mean melee attacks with ranged weapons. You can also see a lot of duct tape wires and what I believe to be a battery. So what looks like a traditional gun might actually be some type of homebrew laser rifle.